Yo, lads, what's up? We got another review here today. It's going to be on Xenoblade 3 Future Connected. So this isn't a full game. This is just a DLC for Xenoblade 3, but it's kind of a part of the game, and it's just a review, and I just want to review it because I really enjoyed it. So I guess we'll just get right into it. Alright, so basically this won't be long. This is just my thoughts about it. But Xenoblade 3 Future Redeemed, it came out about a week ago now, and I finished it about 3 days ago, and it is probably my favorite DLC for the three Xenoblade games. It's right there with Torna, probably. And also, I think it's better than the base Xenoblade 3, the game. And so, I got a couple reasons for it, but I'll go into the reasons as to why it's just a good DLC in the first place. One, the map design for the game is like... So Xenoblade games, like, they have, like, the big sprawling maps, lots of open spaces, can run around, it's beautiful, right? Everything is great. But I think about the thing about Future Redeemed that I love is that it has the big open maps, but it's not too much. Like, it's not so overwhelming that it's like, okay, this is just a bunch of areas to walk around and just do random stuff and fight enemies. And it condenses that a bit so that it's more focused, but it's still Xenoblade sized. And also, there's also specific areas that are more linear, and it still has, the hidden passageways and the things to jump down and places to go up and everything else, right? It's the normal Xenoblade, like, map style, but it's just more focused, I think, in all areas. So I like that a lot with the DLC. Also, it is a shorter DLC, but the map is still sizable, once again, because that's just, Monolith Soft and the crazy shit that they do with the map. But that's a major thing, is that you're not going to feel overwhelmed, I don't think. And it's just enough. Maybe a little bit more would be nice, but it's not too little, I don't think, at least for the map size. Second thing is the combat and the leveling up. So, like, the combat isn't much different from base Xenoblade 3. It's still pretty much the same thing. Like, you have the Ouroboros powers. No fusion, but you also have... Well, I guess there is still fusion. And then there's unities, which that's totally new, and that's, like, double two-team attacks with the new 6 characters, which that's really cool. You can switch that so each character has their own unity thing, and that's pretty much just like a smash attack, not smash attack, but that's like just a built-up attack, just like the special attack for each character, but that's just for the 2 characters. And you can also use it on launched enemies so that it does like an extra damage at the end, which I really like that. So it's cool. It's nice to have that because this DLC is basically just like a nostalgia trip. Like, it's literally just Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade 2, put them into Xenoblade 3, and now you have, Rex and Glimmer, the supposed like child or descendant type thing. Then you have like Shulk and Nickel, which, it's like their sons and their daughters, right? So you can have them team up and do these like team attacks. And it's really cute. It's wholesome, right? So that's cool. But the combat's pretty much the same. It's not much different. You got your 6 characters. You can switch around to them. They have stuff. She has like the vision, which slows down time, and that's a little different as well, obviously, per ability basis, but relatively the same thing. I guess the biggest thing is leveling up. So leveling up is the normal, like, XP and whatnot, which that's, normal. But there's, like, the affinity. So to get, like, moves and to add moves to your character, you have to get affinity points. And so by doing that, it's kind of similar to Torna, but not. So you have a community, you have picking up stuff on the ground, you have fighting a certain amount of enemies, you have going to certain areas, collecting, like, ether deposits, and just running around. And I kind of like that. Some people might not like it. I've been sitting on it for a bit, thinking about it. And honestly, I like it a bit more just because it kind of wants you to move around and do other stuff. But even that, you don't really have to. Like, just for me playing and doing the occasional side quests, because I pretty much speed ran the DLC, like, relatively fast. All of the characters, got plenty of levels. They got plenty of affinity points, even though I maxed Rex out as fast as I could because he's broken. But I like it. I enjoyed it. It's also, completionist kind of... is nice with the brain to see the numbers go up 100%, fill it out. It's nice, right? And then also, along with that, it kind of makes it easier to, like, get skills for people rather than just using them a bunch, because in the base 3, leveling up the characters for their classes kind of took a while, depending on what it was. It was kind of a pain. So this is, like, a lot more streamlined, where it's like, okay, I want affinity points, let me go do this, and I get affinity points. So there's that, right? But then also, Rex. Bro, Rex being the most broken thing in the DLC is perfect, because Xenoblade 2 is my favorite Xenoblade game. But my god, everyone is just using him because he is so broken, double spinning edge, spamming him. If you are playing and have yet to play it, just max him out. Get Glimmer, get everybody some affinity points so no one's like trash. But when you get Rex, just give him everything or give him a lot. Get his critical damage to the max he can do, and it is so broken. You can just sit on him and spam, and when he dies, if he gets revived, you just continue. It is insane. It's so fun. And that's why also this DLC, I think, is so fun, even with, like, the very slight combat changes, is because it's broken. Xenoblade 2, you could do, like, the auto-cancel thing where you could spam attacks, and that was super enjoyable, right? Xenoblade 3, combat was still fun. I didn't like it as much as 2, but the DLC fixes that because you give us broken stuff. It's always fun to break the game. I don't want to break it so it's so easy and it's boring because I still like a challenge in my fights. But when you give me stuff like that, when I can break it, but, like, not break it as a glitch, but just from playing and upgrading certain stuff, that's what I love. And that was just so fun, and it made it so much more fun, I think, personally. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the basis of it, right? And the last thing would just be the story. And so the story, I think it was perfect to end it off, honestly. The interactions with Shulk and Glimmer and Nickel and Shulk was just, I think I said Shulk twice, Rex and Glimmer, but those interactions were great, and it was super wholesome, and it just felt good. If you played Xenoblade 1 and you played Xenoblade 2, this DLC is, like, perfect for you. If you didn't play the first 2 games and you're just playing this after just playing 3, I don't think you're going to like it that much. I think you're going to think it's still all right and interesting, but I don't think it could go from a 5 out of 10 to maybe even like a 10 out of 10 if you didn't play the games, because it really heavily relies on the past 2 games and Easter eggs. It also has Easter eggs from Xenosaga, especially with the ending. In Xenogears, they mentioned Dmitry Yuriev or whatever. He's from the Xenosaga games, and they show the Zohar at the end and Cosmos coming in, and it also gives a kind of a wrap up to 3. The base game 3 at the end as well, but that was like slight minor spoilers, but that's more Easter egg stuff because it's not really confirmed. But either way, like, you have to play Xenoblade 1 and 2 to fully get your experience with this DLC, and I think maybe the Xenosaga games as well if you want to fully get every minuscule Easter egg, which I have not played. But the story itself, it's a great wrap-up, I think, to the Xenoblade 1 through 3 story, trilogy, whatever, right? I guess 6 games because he had Future Connected and Torna, and now this. That makes 6. But I think it was great. It was so fun, man. If you played 1 or you played 2, I would still play. I would still highly recommend playing 1 or 2. But it's just good. It's so good, man. It just felt good. Like, as I was playing it, the moments with Rex and Shulk interacting with, everybody else and Linka and Panacea and, just all the characters, it just felt good, man. And A and Alvis and Alpha, it was just a culmination of everything, dude, and I loved it, and I wish it was a bit longer, just because I don't think it really was like felt rushed. Like, I think what they're going for, they did well, is very ambitious, but I also think if it was longer, it would have been fine. I don't think it was a detriment. I just think that they could have done a bit more, because I just like that feeling of playing with Rex and Shulk and them being in the game. That's more of just a personal complaint. And I think a lot of people think it's a little short compared to, like, Torn and other things, but I think it's still great. They did what they had to do. It's fully worth the DLC pass, $30. I think it's fully worth it. If you played all the Xenoblade games, this is a must-play because it wraps everything up. That's pretty much it. I went on ranting longer than I thought, but check it out, man. It's so fun. It's just good. It's Easter eggs everywhere. The music is, remixed and all this stuff happens. It further kind of expands upon some stuff from 3. It gives a proper closure for 3. I honestly think it's better than the base 3, just because it just felt great, man. It was just fun. It was just fun. That's just what it comes down to, and that's what you need in the game. And the story was enjoyable, and N got some more time. Still edgy, sad boy, but, he's still got a little more time in there as well, which is great. But yeah, check it out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I have some reactions on my channel from the ending in Chapter 2 and whatnot. But yeah, guys, see ya.